Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Faiz. So today we're gonna have a bit of discussion about history of money. It's a fascinating topic actually because we use it in real life, daily transaction, buying groceries and buying for like paying rent and etc. But we never actually think where does money come from? When is the birth of money? So what is money actually? Is it paper, metal, or number on the screen? So around 3000 BC in ancient Mesopotamia, a farmer walks into a temple with a sack of barley. He doesn't want bread, he wants a loan. The priest, of course, she writes something on a clay table and hands it to the farmer. And just like that, the world's first money that isn't a physical thing is born. That clay tablet is the ancestor of the dollar in your bank account right now. So what is money actually? I want to highlight one simple idea. Money is more than gold, more than paper or metal. It's trust. George Armstrong and Rothschild money trusts say that money only works because people believe in it, not because paper is valuable, but because everyone decides to agree the system behind it. If tomorrow everyone decided that $100 note had zero value, then it's just another piece of paper. You can just burn that thing because it's completely useless. You can't even trade with it. Throughout history, every type of money survived only as long as people believe in it. Once the trust is collapsed, the system collapsed too. Before we have money, interestingly, we have the barter system. If you needed fish, you brought wheat. If you needed tools, you traded food. On the surface, it sounds simple, but in reality, it was quite chaotic. The system exposed a deep truth about early humanity. That value is not universal. Imagine this: you have chickens. You want a new pot, but the pot maker doesn't want chickens, he wants salt. So now you need to find someone with salt who wants chicken. This wasn't just about trading, it was literally a puzzle, and most of the time, the puzzle didn't fit. The question became, how do we create something out of value that everyone can trust? So, what I think is fascinating about this part is humans created money because the barter system failed, not out of greed, but out of necessity. And money evolved into commodity. In ancient Egypt, gold was seen as the flesh of the gods. In Mesopotamia, barley and silver became standard units of value. These were not just random objects, they were symbols of trust and stability. You could store gold, you could measure with it, and you could travel with it. But commodity money created a new type of problem. People start to question who decide what's valuable. Is it nature? Is it the king, society? And who control these rare resources? Which lead us to the next major leap, and that is coinage. Around 600 BCE, the kingdom of Lydia in ancient Turkey solved this problem by creating the world's first official coins. The reason why these coins is trusted is because they were stamped with the king's seal. Once Lydia started, Greece adopted it, then Persia, then Rome, then all across the continent. Coins made trade faster, taxes simpler, armies stronger, and economies much more organized. Money stopped being just a tool. It became a state's identity. This is where Griffin argued that the few deciding the value for the many. Whether we see that as stability or control is up to our perspective. But what's undeniable is coinage transform economies, societies, and the power structure forever. Which brings us to paper money. During the Tang Dynasty in China around 7th century, merchants began doing something revolutionary. They started issuing paper receipts. Little known that promise hold a certain amount of coins. By the Song dynasty, paper money became official. The government printed notes, stamped them, regulated them, and guaranteed their value. For the first time ever, money was no longer tied to physical substance, it was tied to trust in authority. Because people realized, why carry 20 pounds of metals when a single slip of paper represents the same value? Edward Griffin said that once money became paper, the power to create money shifted from resources to institutions. Paper money allowed economies to grow faster than ever. It made trade global, it made wealth portable, and it changed everything. But here comes the next problem: the invisible architecture of money, modern banking. Now, our money, the cash in your hand and the numbers in your bank app, is backed by government trust. This is what we call fiat currency. Fiat means by decree. Your money has value because government says so. Edu Griffin said that money is just not a currency. It's a system of control shaped by central banks and policies and institutions that operate behind the scene. Whether we agree with him or not, it's true that modern banking is deeply centralized. Central banks decide interest rate, they control over money supply. As banking became digital, something interesting happened in 2009. A digital currency with no central authority. This was Bitcoin. Blockchain technology made this possible. Every transaction is recorded on a public ledger. It can be changed, deleted, or hidden. This created a new type of trust, transparent trust built from code. What if we could trust mathematics instead of institutions? What if money could be verified by everyone yet controlled by no one? For some, it represents freedom, but others it feels risky or unstable. Regardless of perspective, one thing is clear: crypto changed the traditional meaning of money. Okay, this part is actually the most important part in the history of money. In 1910, there was a private meeting in a place called Jekyll Island. It's not; these are just few people that actually some very one of the most important people ever. There was Senator Aldrich, representative from J.P. Morgan, and executives from major banks like Rockefeller to design a new central banking system, but in a way that protected big banks and allowed them to coordinate control over money creation. Fast forward to 1913, the plan became law. Federal Reserve Act was passed quietly during the holiday season. Whichever side you take, this moment marks one of the biggest turning points in the history of money. Some historians argue this was necessary to stabilize the economy, while others say that it created a system where the same institution caused financial panics, gained power to control over money supply. From gold coins to early banks to secret meetings and final fiat money, the history of money shows how something simple became one of the most powerful tools in the world. Whether we agree with the system or not, understanding it gives us clarity. Money didn't evolve naturally, it was shaped by decision, crisis, and power. And the more we understand it, the better we can navigate our own financial future.